Another night of solitary confinement for patient Pam.
We're going along the coast of Spain now. Behind is probably Montreal, and then making our way to Malaga.
Isn't it a lovely day?
We're already behind schedule, so our time on shore in Malaga will be limited to 2 tapas and a glass of sherry. Hey-ho. Now we'll be at sea for 3 days before we reach the Canary Islands. Still, we shan't starve. A lot of people come cruising for the food, and a chef's life is no easier at sea.
Morning, sir.
Most of the cooks start at around about 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning with myself, and we'll work through breakfast.
Preparing huge quantities of food is a relentless task.
On the ship, it's automatic. You have a buffet and an a la carte restaurant.
What is it that a provision master does?
Well, the basic job is to ensure that we have everything that the galley, bar, and the hotel department needs for the whole cruise. And to schedule the regular deliveries in order that we never run out of something or that we don't have to store too much of something that is the limits we have are the space on board. We have here, this fridge has all the beer, champagne. Well, wastage is one thing that is very difficult to predict. When you have a buffet restaurant that has to have food on the line the whole time, the wastage is higher, opposed to the usage of food on the restaurant when you are ordering a la minute, a la carte, because the food is prepared at the moment. And it's 150 crew and they eat a lot, especially the Philippines. Lots of rice.
Breakfast, lunch and dinner are self-served as a buffet in the deck restaurant or waiter-served in the dining room. After hearing about horror hygiene cruising calamities, it's good to know everything here aboard Mademoiselle Minerva is scrubbed and scoured until it's spick, span and sparkling.
You've got a knack with that.
The lunch tables are being laid by the mainly Filipino waiting staff who are always on the go. They're supervised by Greg, Minerva's maitre d'.
Sort of every cruise line tries to create their own identity, so it's more a country house. Even that's with the crew ratio to the passenger ratio. 21 staff, and myself and the 2 assistant maitre d's, that'll be 24.
Hello.
So it's quite a high ratio for 200 passengers. And it's nice that, because I know a lot of the passengers, nearly all the passengers know my name, which again, that's nice. No, the comments have been excellent, very, very good, yeah. British people like to dress up. Americans like to dress up on formal nights, and Australians don't like to dress up.
At all?
No.
Well, the kitchens are normally a lot cleaner on the ships because we have more public health inspections than anyone else. We have the British Public Health, then we have the USPH, which is United States Public Health, which are probably more stringent than the British. I'd actually say that we have to keep cleaner, and we tend to work more and adhere more to the public health standards.
Hello, pastry people. It's quite a task to feed endless appetites and yet make every meal a variety of choice and acceptable to all. Thank heavens for tea time to fill the long void and abate the hunger pangs between lunch and dinner.
A tray of delicacies.
After all, energy levels could be dangerously low, what with all these calorie-consuming activities like lounging, reading, cup lifting, chatting, or straining over Scrabble.
S-I-G-H, right.
Well, how smart is that? It's Captain's Cocktails tonight. Yeah, it's Captain's Cocktails tonight.
Oh, I do love a captain's cocktail. And dressing up for a fingerful of cheap champagne in the lounge is another cruise ritual.
What do you get to choose for the interview?
It is also Bill and Tricia's 30th wedding anniversary, so there will be much merrymaking, though little mayhem, this evening. Corks are popped, jokes are cracked, toasts are proposed, and a cake is cut. And so are we by the end of the evening. I'll slur good night. It's early morning as we arrive at Las Palmas, and the clocks have gone back an hour.
It's nearly 6 o'clock in the morning, and we're arriving in Las Palmas, in Gran Canaria, and nobody else seems to be awake. Well, obviously I hope somebody's awake driving the bloody ship. Somebody else is up.
Also reassuringly, several crew members are up and about.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah.
Cleaning the door.
Are you usually at this time of the day? Do you work through the night?
Yes. Always sanitize.
Always sanitize.
If sanitize, no bacteria. This door is many bacteria. Maybe customer complain. Diarrhea. Oh, no good.
Never a truer word. The ship slips into its berth at Las Palmas under the guidance of Captain Moulds. The man appears at last, and I'm able to see him at work. Left hand down a bit.
I think we're here.
The cabin cleaning staff trundle their trolleys along the corridors every day,
All stewardess from Ukraine.
and I'm due for a good rub down by the lovely Licia.
Where?
Between Odessa and Kiev, Cherkasy region. We have very nice place, Park Sofievka. If you check internet.
We have a passenger laundrette which is in constant use. Someone's walked off with a nice new bra and left behind something sad and sorry and obviously surplus to requirements.
Well, it's been there for so long, hasn't it?
Poor things, it's the first day.
As well as eating, drinking is one of the most popular activities aboard any cruise ship, and practiced to perfection by many of Minerva's sailing senior citizens. Maggie McNee's wine tasting classes are always packed with, if not quite drunken sailors, some well-travelled tipplers.
Swan Hellenic asked me if I'd like to talk about wine on cruises. I decided I very much would like to be doing that. In fact, it seemed mad to turn down the idea of cruising. I mean, I'd never done a cruise before. And I have to say I've thoroughly enjoyed it ever since.
So what, Chris, what's happening today?
Wine tasting, red wine tasting.
And
this one is the best one.
I met one of the sons in an
Sad
airport.
when you get to a certain age, you know, that's all you can
having
do.
a chat. Now you'll notice here you've got a good colour, but it's not massive.
Linda favours the robust and fruity.
I'm trying to teach them, but I hope I'm teaching them by making them laugh and telling the things that enable people to remember, and also teaching them how a professional taster looks at wine. Not that they're going to do that, but it gives them some insight into what we do and why we do it. And most people seem to be fascinated by that, and they seem to enjoy it very much. At least, you know, that's what impression I get from what they say to me. Talking for myself, I have learnt an enormous amount from different people on different cruises I've done, as well as, you know, trying to teach and make people enjoy wine, and also to try and destroy an awful lot of the false snobbery about wine.
And who gets to choose these things?
Not me. I get to drink them.
That red wine, drunk in reasonable quantities, is better for you than white wine.
Maggie isn't the only expert on board. Sir Peter Heap is another guest speaker.